What's up, guys? Dad Dash here, and I'm coming to you today with a video to ask you the question: what is DoorDash? I'm going to read you something from their website, which I think kind of answers this question, and I've talked about this many times on this channel, and I've tried to explain exactly what DoorDash is. And I was going on DoorDash's website, reading through their newsroom, and I saw this at the bottom, and I said, boom, there it is. I mean, there's validation for exactly what I've been trying to explain on this channel, what DoorDash is. And in that answer of what is DoorDash comes the answer of how should you as a Dasher interact with DoorDash. So let me read to you what DoorDash is. Let's pull it up on the screen. So DoorDash, this is coming straight from their website. This is on the bottom of every one of their web pages. And it says DoorDash. DoorDash is a technology company that connects people with the best in their cities. We do this by empowering local businesses and in turn generate new ways for people to earn, work, and live. Now, that is a definition of what DoorDash is straight from the DoorDash website. And let me explain that and what that is and how that connects with what I've told you DoorDash is before on this channel. It says, the first line is the most important. That first sentence, DoorDash is a technology company that connects people with the best in their cities. And we do this, the second line also is important as well, and we do this by empowering local businesses and in turn generate new ways for people to earn, work, and live. So let's break this down, and inside this tells you what DoorDash is, and then it also gives you the answers for how you should be working with DoorDash and what you should be expecting from your relationship with DoorDash. So it tells you DoorDash is a technology company. What does that mean? It means DoorDash isn't an employer of Dashers. It isn't an employer of delivery drivers, and it has nothing to do with employing anyone besides the support needed to develop the relationships and connect the pieces of the puzzle it needs to do whatever it is it wants to be involved with. In this case, they've chosen to be involved in all things related to delivering packages, retail purchases, restaurant purchases. This is what DoorDash has chosen to be involved with at this particular time. And they provide the infrastructure. They provide the intermediary pieces needed to connect the delivery driver, the restaurant or store or business that needs a delivery of something, and the customer who's going to be receiving that delivery. They provide a secure way for that transaction to occur, for money to go from point A to point B to point C. And they provide the insurance needed to ensure the parties involved in that transaction. They provide the security by background checking the drivers, ensuring that customers will pay and that drivers will be paid for their services, that restaurants will be paid for providing the food. And then they provide a place that anywhere in that transaction, if there are any issues, there is a way to resolve those issues and determine a resolution and move forward. And that's what DoorDash does. DoorDash is just simply a technology service that allows for delivery drivers to connect with restaurants and customers in need of their services. That is it. It is very simple. Now, because of that, the question then is, well, wait a minute, what are we as Dashers then? Well, what we are, and are we a customer of DoorDash? Is DoorDash a customer of ours? Or is it our employer? And the answer to that is no, they're not. They're telling you they're a technology company that connects people with the best in their cities. They empower local businesses. If you look at the TOS agreement, the Dasher is considered a business. The restaurant is considered a business. And the only customer that's involved in this is the customer of the restaurant. And in our point of view, the restaurant and the restaurant's customer are our customers that we're serving. We go and we pick up the food from the restaurant. We're acting essentially as a shadow employee of the restaurant, acting as if we're delivering on behalf of them. So at that moment, we're representing that restaurant, technically. We're then bringing that food to the customer. and that customer is technically our customer, and it's also the restaurant's customer. We provide them with that food and fulfill the contract. At that particular moment, we're not working for DoorDash. We're working for ourselves. We're not working for the restaurant, even though we're acting on behalf as an agent on their behalf, and they're giving us agency to act on their behalf as a driver. And we're not working for that customer either. We're just simply providing them with the food from that restaurant, because that customer is the customer of the restaurant, not us. And we're an independent entity, an independent business. So what does that mean? That means that DoorDash is providing us with a service. Now, here is where it gets murky. Most of the time, we would get to see the cost of that service. What does it cost to our business to deal with DoorDash? And we would get to see all sides of that transaction, because technically speaking, we would be seeing, okay, here's this contract. Restaurant A needs food delivered. We're going to get X amount per mile. We're going to get X amount for our time. And then we're going to potentially get a tip from the customer. DoorDash will provide us with the financial pieces to collect all that money securely. They will also provide us with an insurance policy to insure us while we're working for the restaurant, or working to provide the delivery service for the restaurant to that customer. And then on top of that, we're going to get the white glove customer service. And as a result, for all of that, there's a cost for us. Normally, we would negotiate that cost. What is it? 10%? 15%? What are they taking? This is where this is where the real problems are. See, by DoorDash framing it in a employee-employer relationship, the real game that DoorDash is playing here is they are getting to essentially blindly charge us for that service. We are not getting to set the cost of that. If I were a big business, and again, I have put this in the framework of where I came from. In the financial world, if I was going to a lead generation company, there would be a pre-negotiated amount that they would get per lead if we were able to effectively close the lead and turn it into a money-making opportunity. That would already be established on a per lead basis. And because that company would make no money unless they were providing us with quality leads, there'd be an incentive for them to provide a quality lead that we can use, and then they get paid. On the DoorDash side, they are taking, we don't know. We don't know what the actual cost is to us as a business, because DoorDash doesn't tell us. All DoorDash says is, we're going to show you your guaranteed amount that we're going to pass on to you. But we have no idea what the actual amount was. And it's going to vary from order to order on what that cost is that DoorDash is getting, and for each order for providing that service. And essentially, by taking that third rung in there, they're not having to worry about the mileage compensation, which is essentially our expenses. They're not really having to worry about labor. It's going to be very little. And they're saying you're going to get a majority of your money from tips, which we're going to provide the platform to the customer for the tips. We're going to pay you $1, $2 in order. And that's essentially what we're agreeing to. And they're going to say, okay, since we have since we're going to ask the customer for purposes of convenience to go ahead and provide the tip, it lets DoorDash be able to say, okay, this might have been an $8 order, a $9 order, a $10 order, but we're going to take an $8 commission on that. And we're going to leave $2.25 for the dasher. And then the customer's also leaving a $5 tip. So we're past $7.25 on to the dasher. But see, it shouldn't be that way. It should be all laid out in a contract beforehand that says, if we're making a 7-mile offer to you, this is what you're getting paid. If there's X amount of wait time on this offer, you get paid for 5 minutes of wait time. 5 minutes or less, you're paid this amount. 10 minutes or less, you're paid this amount. 15 minutes, you're paid a flat fee plus every minute after. And then you're paid, of course, travel time. What's your travel time? I mean, all these things can be calculated. All these things should be calculated, and there should be money associated with each one of those aspects. But DoorDash has circumvented that by DoorDash making us Dashers believe that they're our employer. They don't. Then they have a set that, essentially what they're doing is they're manipulating us to believe that we are not entitled to that information. So the real thing that should be going on right now, the real discussion is that DoorDash should be forced to treat us as they're claiming we are, and that is to put that information with us, to put out a real contract with us that says this is how the compensation scale works, and you agree that when we make an offer to you, we're going to compensate you in this way. We'll throw up an offer and the opportunity to work. We have already collected that money from the customer. That will already be waiting there for you. If you hit accept on the offer, you fulfill the contract, you will then get that money that has already been paid into at the rate that we've already agreed that we're negotiating with you under these circumstances. DoorDash could do all of that, but what DoorDash has done is they've led the restaurants to believe that is exactly what they've done with the Dashers. They've led the customers to believe that that's what they've done with the Dashers. They've charged the customer like it's that way. They've charged the restaurant like it's that way. They've collected all that money, and then they've told the Dashers, well, you're our employees, and and you're not entitled to see any of that information. We will show you your guaranteed amount, whatever we decide it to be. And then we will, if you don't like it, and you don't want to do the contract, hit yes, hit no. The more you decline, we may make your offers worse. We may make them better. We're going to hide information from you. We're going to hide your mileage. We're not going to you're not entitled to see any of that, and you will be under our terms. And all of the gig apps are doing this, from Spark to Grubhub to Uber Eats. This is how they all work. This is the dirty little secret. And it continues to be allowed to happen because we continue to think that we're having an employee-employer relationship. The government believes that, and that's how they're being treated. But that's not what they are. What they're doing is they're creating small businesses in the communities. People don't even realize they're in business for themselves. They believe they're working for DoorDash. They go out and they believe DoorDash is an employer. They believe they've got to do certain things that they don't have to do. They don't even understand what the relationship is with DoorDash. They don't understand that DoorDash is only a technology company that's just connecting them with opportunities to work. And then DoorDash just simply exploits the heck out of you. So this is why it's important. Understand what you are. And the solution to all of this that I've talked about is understanding that you need to demand from DoorDash. Listen, DoorDash is going to be what it is. We're not going to necessarily change this overnight with what they see. But we need to be having the right discussions. One, transparency. That has to be first and foremost. We've lost that. I've not heard or seen any content on transparency. It's as if we've just laid down and said, nope, don't expect that. You're working for DoorDash. You're an employee. Would you expect that? We're not working for DoorDash. They're working for us. They're providing us with a service. We have to flip the tables. We were on the way to doing that. Then DoorDash changed the game on us, and they're going to continue to do that. And they said, transparency? You don't deserve transparency. And they convinced the influencers. They convinced the big YouTubers. They've convinced the politicians that that's not the issue. Transparency is the issue. Requiring them to show us the information that we deserve to see. That is the number one issue and needs to be the number one priority. While we're waiting for that to happen, demand your value. Sign up for as many apps as you can. If you're going to try to do this and make a living at it, then you need to create the options and the opportunities. You need to understand how to calculate your value. You need to understand what you need your value to be. You need to look to go get that value. Don't worry about hourly rate besides tracking it as a value metric for your time. At the end of the day, don't worry about what it was. Figure out what you need. Just like, and again, I'm going to be putting a video out showing you about my $1,000 tracker. Figure out what you want to track. You want to make $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $500, and track yourself to make that goal. Once you reach that goal, boom, you've done that. The next, whatever figure it is that you want to come up with, and track towards it. Figure out how long it's taking you, how many days, how fast can you earn it, what can you do and what orders can you take to help get you to your goal, and make sure that you're doing it as fast as possible, because the sooner you earn that 500,000, 1,500, the sooner you'll be earning the next one and the next one and the next one, and the sooner you'll be reaching your financial goals. If you understand this, if you work to your goals, not the app's goals, and you understand that their goals and your goals are not unified, you will and can make money. It is not the easy peasy way of doing things that the apps would have you believe. You've got to track your metrics. You've got to watch what you're driving. You've got to watch what your profitability is. You've got to be setting aside money to make sure your vehicle can get the service it needs. You've got to make sure that you're setting aside money for your taxes, and you've got to be setting aside money for your gas, to make sure you have gas to put in your car. And you've got to be tracking that closely each and every shift. And if you do all that, if you treat this like a business, yes, you can go out and make money. Is this going to be everyone that's going to be able to do it? No. But can some? Yes. And if you understand what DoorDash is, if you understand what these gig apps are, then you will have an edge up on everyone else. And if you don't believe me, go read the TOS. Go look at the website. It's sitting there right in front of your face. And like I said, I got no bone in this game except to say I want to help people and help drivers that want to do better. And the more people understand, the better it will be for everyone out there. And the easier it will be for some people that are saying, this is not what I want. I don't need this. This is not worth it. Good. Leave. Go back to W-2 work. Find something that fits you. Okay? And then those that are serious about this, that are going to be around doing this the right way, we can then start making an impact. Yes, we can create a market. Yes, we can influence these apps. Believe it or not, they know we can. That's why they're putting so much emphasis, money, and energy towards trying to pull us away from transparency and trying to pull us away from that decline button. Guys, hopefully this makes sense. Put in your comments, your thoughts. And as always, guys, stay safe, stay profitable. Dad Dash will be talking to you soon.